Sono Manuel Di Geronimo, coach SGX e trainer online. Non esistono ostacoli troppo grandi, ma solo motivazioni troppo piccole. Ciao a tutti ragazzi, siamo qui ad Alla con il campione europeo, il campione dell'universo Jonathan Albon. Tutti conoscerete Jonathan Albon, tutti abbiamo sentito dire di Albon, ma nessuno riesce insomma a conoscerlo così bene. Oggi riusciamo ad averlo qui davanti, quindi andiamo subito a conoscerlo. Thank you very much for your time. This is crazy for us and I want to know almost everything about you. First of all, I was asking before, why this year you choose Spartan Race and not OCR?
Yeah, it was a tough decision, and when they put the European Championships both on the same day, it was a bit like, which one should I go for? But I thought back to the OCR European Championships last year, and I don't remember having much fun, and it wasn't exactly what I thought obstacle racing should be like. So I thought I'd try something different this year. Spartan racing isn't exactly what I think obstacle racing should be like either, but it's a bit closer than just having 20-25 rigs in a row, so I was here in Italy instead.
Ok, la prima domanda che ho chiesto è perché hai scelto la Spartan, non l'OCR European Championship, e mi ha detto semplicemente l'anno scorso non si era divertito molto, per lui l'OCR è molto più simile a quello che propone la Spartan. And for you the obstacles today were okay or were too easy?
It's hard with the difficulty because in my mind it doesn't matter if an obstacle's easy, you just try and go faster. But there weren't many obstacles out there that I was worrying about today. The only couple were, I guess, the balance obstacles, because it's so easy just to accidentally just step off or not quite get it right, and you only get one chance in Spartan, and obviously the spear throw. So those three, the slackline, balance beam and spear throw, were the ones I was thinking about, but everything else is really not that difficult. You just have to do it as fast as possible.
Okay. Did you see how get the second instead of third? How Peregrine passed it?
Yeah, it was crazy. The finish for second and third was insane. It's like a Russian cannonball coming over the line. He couldn't help but carry on running past and ball everyone over.
This was crazy.
Yeah.
Ok, quello che gli ho chiesto, ho detto innanzitutto se per lui gli ostacoli della Spartan sono difficili, sono facili. Ho detto lui oggi era più preoccupato per il balance, per la slack e per lo spear, non ho avuto problemi, gli ostacoli sono stati molto semplici. Poi abbiamo parlato del secondo che oggi ha superato il terzo. And how Jonathan Albon train? First, why you live in Norway? And explain.
Well, I live in Norway because my wife is Norwegian.
Okay, for this or for sport?
Because of that reason, really. She's Norwegian, she lived in the UK for a while and then she moved back to Norway and I followed. So I moved to Norway because of love and then found out it was actually the perfect place to train. So Bergen, where I live, it's got great mountains, great training facilities, a great airport, great athletes that live there. There's so many different things which help. So it is a perfect place to train. I do running in the summer and then skiing in the winter as well, so I get a really nice
This is great. Ok, ho chiesto perché vive in Norvegia perché sua moglie è norvegese, si è trasferito lì e automaticamente dice un posto perfetto, c'è grandi atleti, in più quello che c'è, ci sono ottime montagne per allenarsi d'inverno con gli sci e d'estate con il running. So, in the winter you just ski, you don't run?
Yeah, I think in January I don't run at all, maybe in February 5 kilometers a week and then up it every week.
You just do ski or what kind? Just skiing?
Mainly skiing, cross-country skiing and ski touring.
And also gym or just this part?
A little bit of in the gym and then I go bouldering a lot as well. So I boulder through the winter and through the summer, but mainly skiing in the winter really. It's just, it gives your body a massive rest. So still a lot of training, but your body gets a rest from the impact.
Yeah, but what means a bit of skiing, like 3 hours, 5 hours a day? Because you know, I was seeing the book that you bought actually, and I want to buy as well.
Yeah.
And I was seeing him, and he's training 10 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm not training quite that much, but I normally count in vertical meters. So if I'm skiing an average week in the winter, it'd be between 12 and 15,000 vertical meters a week. So
12?
and 15,000 vertical meters.
Okay.
So in this race we climbed 1,600, 1,800 in this race. So I'd be doing 12 to 15,000 a week.
A week.
Yeah.
So like 10 times minimum go up for.
It's.
This is about skiing.
Mainly skiing, some cycling, but in the winter mainly skiing. So ski touring, you'd skin up, take the skins off, clip in and ski down again.
Oh, great. Ok, gli ho chiesto innanzitutto, lui mi ha detto che come si allenava d'inverno, e d'inverno quello che fa fondamentalmente scia, fa un pochino di arrampicata, ma soprattutto sci di fondo, e a parte questo gli ho chiesto quanto si allena in base alle ore. Lui si allena sui chilometri di elevazione, fa tra i 12.000 e i 15.000 metri di elevazione a settimana. Pensate che oggi sono state 1.600 metri di dislivello, sono circa 12-13 volte questa montagna. And then in the summer you move to running.
Running, and still have a lot of cross training, so still a lot of things like cycling, but mainly running to get ready for the running season. I really try from the winter to up my running week on week, get a little bit more and more to stay injury free, and that transition from skiing to running is really important to get right.
How you up with weekly increase is it?
So maybe something like 10% a week or something on running mileage, so starting with like 5 kilometers and then just working it up and up and up until my biggest week this year has only been 120 kilometers or 110 kilometers, which for a runner, for a runner isn't that much. But then I do a lot of cross training, so a lot of cycling as well, a lot of bouldering, a lot of different things to stay fit.
Yeah, but also because if you do 112 kilometers, but you do a lot of uphills. So So it's also, if it's flat is one thing, but of that is different.
Yeah, so I think in the summer lately I've been doing. It's obviously with races it changes quite a lot, but somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 meters of climb a week running and 3,000 and 5,000 meters a week cycling.
3, 5. Repeat, sorry.
So about 3,000 to 5,000 meters of vertical climb when running, and 3 to 5 with the cycling.
Okay.
So anywhere between 6,000 and 10,000 meters of climb a week in the summer.
Ok, e cosa fa a questo punto? Lui fa un passaggio dallo sci alla corsa graduale, circa aumenta del 10% a settimana, arrivando a correre sui 110-120 km a settimana di corsa. Il problema qual è? Lui a parte questo dice fa tantissima bicicletta, fa tantissimo climbing, fa tante altre cose per mantenersi in forma. Fa anche, when you talk about cross skiing in the summer?
Oh no, cross training. So
cross training means just walking?
No, just anything that isn't running. So running is my main sport. So if I'm not running, it's kind of cross training. It's just doing something different.
Like
so, bike, swimming, but I don't like swimming too much. So mainly bike in the summer. It could be anything. It could be rowing, roller skiing. I guess it could be. But anything that isn't running, because running. It's kind of tough on your body, the impact. Kind of you can't do that many hours of it without getting injuries or getting a bit run down. So if you can have 2 or 3 hours of really good running a week, but then have some more hours of say cycling just to build a good engine and recover and keep fit, then I think that's a lot better than just trying to run all the time.
E quindi quello che fa mette tanto cross training, cioè fa bicicletta, nuota un pochino, e in questo modo per mantenersi fit corre il giusto, poi sono sempre tantissimi chilometri e cerca di fare tante altre cose, tra cui tenete presente che fa tra i 5 e 7 chilometri di elevazione, 5-7 mila metri a settimana di corsa, 5-7 mila metri di bici a settimana di elevazione. This is really great because also when I was talking with Killian do the same, for example, one day running, the other day cycling, the other day go just to walk with the family, pack everybody, also the baby home, and carry them and go up. And tell me something really important, but what you do is like you wake up and you go to train, or is really planned, you have people behind, because you're John Albon, you're the best athlete, so there is somebody who is helping you, something that you study, a part of your experience, but you know, like you know that now you have to run this, like, and then increase, like you say 10%, just...
Yeah, it's a lot about feeling, so I come up with my own training and I just kind of feel how my body feels and just make it up as I go along. If I've got a big race Normally 3 weeks before I can make a kind of plan about what I'm going to do 3 weeks before. But apart from that, I just feel how my body is and then pick training sessions that I think are going to help generally.
And how many times do you run for a week?
Oof, it changes, but I guess at least every day, but then obviously I have some days completely.
So when you do also cross training, you do in the same day?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. So
like 10 kilometers and 30 minutes?
Or I'm always cycling to go training as well, so to cycle somewhere for an hour and do a run, then cycle home again, things like this, or just doing like a hard running session in the morning and then in the evening doing an hour and a half on the bike to help recovery.
Ok, this is really important. Quindi insomma io gli chiedevo un secondino se lui salire un po' a sensazione o a pianificato, dice nel periodo di gara è un pochino più pianificato, però conosce molto bene il suo corpo. This is incredible that you train with sensation like professional athlete. This is insane.
Wow, it's different because most athletes are very specific with their training because they do a very specific type of event. So if you're a 400 meter runner, you do a lot of drills and a lot of running on the track and repeats and doing that exact type of running. Whereas with obstacle racing, it's so random, you have to have a very different type of fitness, like a healthier, more rounded type of fitness. So to train for it, you can do it in a lot of different ways, I think.
È quello che diceva, che lui va molto a sensazione, pianifica solo quando c'ha le gare, e magari quando gli chiedevo quante volte corri, lui che corre non tanto e corre tutti i giorni, e praticamente poi magari la mattina fa l'allenamento di corsa, poi la sera fa bici, o se no va in bici fino alla montagna va a correre e poi torna in bici. And apart of that, how much you train like weightlifting, like for injury prevention?
A little bit in the summer, in the winter. Maybe once a week in the winter I'll go to the gym and do some standard weightlifting. I'm not sure how much it helps, but it's something I've done in the past years. But that's the bit of the training that I enjoy the least, is going to the gym and lifting weights. So mostly it's things like bouldering or getting out and doing some cross training, like going snowshoeing for example. Or it's like good strength training for the legs, but you're still out doing something in nature, which is a lot nicer for the mind.
Ok, ho chiesto quante volte si allena anche in palestra, ho detto massimo una volta a settimana d'inverno, ma lui quello che conta è divertirsi, fa qualcosa che gli piace. So you really live with passion. And your wife, I saw many years ago that she was amazing an athlete.
Yeah, she's running really well, and she still has a full-time job, but she's gone down to 80% working now. So that means she can have a little bit more training
and she's not running Spartan, right?
No, she's not been doing any obstacle racing this year. I think she just found she enjoys more the trails and the running in the mountains.
So when you do trail, she's come with you?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, and when you come here, she just...
Well, we were in Portugal for the Trail World Championships a couple of weeks ago. So she took time off work to go there, so now she's working.
She's working, ok. Quello che chiedevo è che io avevo visto che la sua moglie è fortissima atleta in OCR, faceva le taftes e mi ha detto però quest'anno sta facendo più corsa e quindi è andata a fare con lei più i trail e meno quindi la parte di fitness. And how Jonathan Albon eat?
Poorly. I've got a thing where I try and eat as little processed food as possible, with lots of fruit and veg, but that's the one thing that I'm weakest at. I always tell people you should eat less processed food, but I eat a lot of processed food. So that's one thing I should really try and improve with.
So, like more vegetables?
Yeah, if something's been processed a lot, it's more unhealthy for you in my mind. So the least processes it's had, the healthier.
So for example, what do you eat?
Well...
So you don't eat bread?
No, I eat bread. I tell people to do this, but I'm not very good at doing it myself.
Okay.
So bread has got a few processes, but it's still not that bad. But something that's really, really processed with lots of chemicals and things, I try and avoid poorly. But like apples, bananas, fruit and vegetables are the best for you, I guess. And then, for an example, if you think orange, just eating an orange, it would be like a number 1. So that's not processed really. Orange juice would be a number 2 because it's been processed, it's been turned into juice, and then you'd work up from there, and the more processed it's had.
And you eat protein, right?
Sorry?
Protein?
Yeah, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian. I'm not allergic to. Well, I'm probably allergic to some foods, but not that. No, I just eat food. Okay. So I just think food is the best for you.
I think what you say is really smart, because the point is that when you train a lot, you have to eat a lot, but it's not how much, but also how you eat. Because today it's very hard. In Italy, we are pretty lucky about that, because the food is really amazing. I'm traveling a lot for Spartan, and also my wife is also Spanish, so it's not Italian. And then see the other country, we are lucky, but I'm seeing that what you are saying, that the best athletes, also Soleil, Kylian, they always eat a lot, but well. This is, I think, really important, what you put, because anyway, it's your food.
Yeah, but and also it can be difficult if I was just, for example, going to eat fruit and vegetables, and I did a training run where I burnt 5,000 calories. That's a lot of fruit and vegetables. So it can be difficult to just eat the healthiest food. Sometimes you do just need lots of calories.
Yeah.
So it's a balancing act, but diet is certainly the thing that I could work on the most and improve on in the future to make myself a better athlete.
Ah, ok, this is great. No, stavamo parlando di alimentazione, la sua idea di alimentazione, che lui mangia più pulito possibile, meno cibi processati, quindi più frutta, più verdura, cerca di levare le cose con più chimica possibile, e chiaramente dice però delle volte non ci arriva ad alimentazione, e quindi non è così facile. And so you are full-time athlete. This, for how you can say, is a dream of a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
A lot of people see Albon, say, a lot of great athletes say, I would love to be full-time athlete. You are not lucky, you deserve, but you are one of the special one that are that strong, that can permit to be an athlete in OCR.
Especially paying tax in Norway makes it kind of difficult.
Sorry?
Paying tax in Norway makes it kind of difficult to earn enough money to live. But it's actually a dream I never had for myself. I didn't even really choose to be a full-time athlete. I quit my job and moved to Norway, and then when I got there I didn't get another job, but I went to America and raced in the Spartan World Championships and the OCR World Championships. And when I won both of those, my wife just said, well, why don't, instead of getting a job, you just run? So that's what I've been doing since. So I never really had a big goal to be a full-time athlete, it just kind of happened.
This is wonderful. Ti devo com'è stata questa cosa di diventare full time athlete. Quello che mi ha detto è che quando si è mosso in Norvegia non trovava un lavoro e semplicemente ha vinto i mondiali OCR, i mondiali Spartan, e sua moglie gli ha detto perché lavori e corri. Quindi non è che voleva diventare un atleta full time, però lui è diventato. This is great. And are you training in Norway alone, with people? Because I'm seeing your stories and you train with people.
Yeah, I do train with people, especially
Because you train a lot, like 3 hours, 4 hours a day.
yeah, especially with skiing, it's safer to train with other people for avalanche safety and whatnot. So I'm often skiing with other people, and then it's more sociable to go and train with other people. But I do a lot of training alone as well. So it's a balance to have. Sometimes you just want to go out and enjoy nature alone, and then other times it's
And
better
sometimes
to
you train also with your wife.
Yeah, definitely. We go bouldering together mostly. We go running together, cycling together, we can do pretty much all training together.
This is wonderful. Gli chiedevo se si allenava da solo con gli amici, spesso si allena da solo, spesso con gli amici, spesso anche con sua moglie, dove fa un po' di tutto. And tell me, from where you are from, like, you are super young, you are 30, right?
Yeah.
And from always I hear about you, like 6 years that are, Spartan 6 years they are talking about Albon. And this, what I'm telling you, what we're doing before Albon.
So I played skate hockey, which is like ice hockey but on wheels,
Yeah.
and a little bit of ice hockey. But I played that until I was 20, and then when I quit, I needed to keep fit, so I started running. So I started running when I was 20, and my first event was Tough Guy, the original obstacle race.
And you won.
No, I didn't. This was back when I never trained running, and in Tough Guy, if you've done it before, you get to start at the front, and if you haven't, you start thousands of people back, and it's a mass start, so everyone goes at once. So I think I overtook something like 1,500 people, but I was just there to see if I could complete it. So I did, and then more and more obstacle races started coming about. Spartan started up, Tough Mudder started up, and I kept on entering them and sort of was winning them and stayed ahead of the curve. Kept winning them, and they got more competitive and more prize money all the way up until I went to win the World Championships as well.
Ah, that's great. Ok, lui fino a 20 anni giocava ad hockey, poi si è avvicinato con la Tough Guy al primo evento, poi gli eventi sono cresciuti, le OCR, soprattutto in UK, because in UK is really popular OCR. There's a lot
Yeah,
of races.
there is.
E da lì cosa è successo? Si è evoluto e di conseguenza ha cominciato a vincere i soldi e ad andare più forti. Ok, I don't want to take you too much time, but
That's
last
fine.
few questions is you're doing also a lot of race. Cioè, your schedule is really, really big, and you earn a lot from the trophies. Like in the trail running, there are money, and the sponsor are good for OCR. This is for the community. Like people can hope in one day, like in the future, for the direction that we are taking to live of OCR like an athlete.
Yeah, I'm sure there is going to be possibilities. You can do now, it just depends on what sort of lifestyle you want. So at the moment I rely on a lot of prize money in order to live like I do. So sponsorship does help a little bit, but then it depends what companies you want to be sponsored by. I prefer to only be sponsored by the companies that make really good equipment. So sometimes that narrows down which sponsors I can have.
I totally
so
agree with you about
make
that.
less money. I could accept more money from other companies, but I really want to. If I tell someone to buy something, or I like it, I want to be as if I would spend my own money on it. I would buy the product if I wasn't sponsored by them. So it can be more difficult to make money that way, but it's the way I'd prefer to do it. So between that and prize money, I get by now, but hopefully in the future, obstacle racing is big enough and popular enough that people can make a full-time living from it.
Quello che chiedevo se ci possono essere ambizioni per poter vivere di OCR nel mondo delle Spartan, vi dicendo, lui mi ha detto chiaramente dipende dallo stile di vita che poi vuoi fare, sicuramente si può fare una cosa simile. Ciò che diceva però Albon è che chiaramente lui ha anche un aiuto dei support dagli sponsor, però dice preferisce prendere gli sponsor, guadagnare meno ma cose in cui crede, che non doverlo fare e prendere più soldi per qualcosa che non consiglierebbe o non comprerebbe. The last question that I want to tell us to you is like, what for you is the difference between European athletes and American athletes?
Oh,
Because we see the American athletes say, "Ooh, there is Albon is other world." We talk about Bianchi, Soleil arrive in the States and disappear. And
Yeah.
I want that because I'm very close to my friends, I
Yeah.
want that they arrive on the top.
yeah, but I think it can be something to do with a lot of European athletes go over for Tahoe, and Tahoe is at elevation, and it's a tough race. You need to travel all the way there as a European, go up to elevation, the thinner air, and it kind of is taxing in itself just getting there. But I think the carries are heavier in the USA, so the athletes are slightly bigger and a little bit stronger. So it's a slightly different style of racing.
Yeah, but if you're strong like that, in Europe you can win. That's the point, because if you're in a part of the world, but if one athlete becomes stronger, one
Yeah.
becomes lower. And in a way, today we're a lot of fast athletes, eh?
Yeah, you still need to be strong yet fast. But I'm not sure why European athletes don't do better when they go to America. I think maybe it's just because they only go for Tahoe, which is the biggest race, and all the Americans are very focused on that race. So yeah, they're angling their whole season at that race. They're all in top form in that race, and the Europeans arrive having just got off a plane with jet lag and then
Yeah.
altitude. So it's tough.
Do you know that Spartan want to move to Europe? Want to stay trying?
I think it would be great if they moved to somewhere that isn't at elevation. I think it would be a lot fairer, and it would be great to see the Americans come over and do a more European style of racing, because over here we're not got everything standardised obstacle-wise yet. There can be a lot of different types of terrain, whereas in America it's
Yes.
very much just trail, obstacle, trail, obstacle, trail,
Yeah.
obstacle. Whereas here
Or
it's
like
a bit,
more technical? Like
yeah,
the-
a bit rawer and a bit more technical and a bit different things going on, apart from just the obstacles. It would be really fun, and hopefully it does come about, because I think to be a World Championships they should move the World Championships out of the USA.
Yeah. Quello di cui parlavamo adesso era innanzitutto il livello differente tra gli europei e gli americani. Qual è la differenza? Secondo lui che in America gli ostacoli sono molto più pesanti, le persone europee vanno lì solo a taco, e c'è quindi jet lag, c'è il tempo, è molto faticoso quindi per loro anche adattarsi, e parlavamo che secondo noi sarebbe bello anche vedere in Europa un mondiale per mettere ai soliti livelli. So this is really important, that I'm happy to see you, because what you see is a really wide point of view. I can make you a lot of thousands of other questions, but my last question is like, what are your goals for this year?
Oh, to be honest, having it was
Because I think okay, the million guy, but too much.
yeah, last year the million, it was kind of a fun thing to do, but it turned out that in Iceland, if Ryan Atkins could only do 82 miles, it wasn't possible to do 100 miles in my mind. So it was fun to follow the million last year, but I don't know, it turned out to be a little bit of a sour ending.
This year is a little bit easier, sim, no?
This year, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work because they've announced some sort of table with figures, but they still haven't really told us how it's going to work, especially because in the 24-hour event, last year at least, you had to finish the lap in order to get the mileage, whereas now they've come up with a system where every single mile counts, so I'm not sure how they're even going to work it. So we'll see. At the moment, I'm going to carry on. I've got a Sky race in 2 weeks in the Pyrenees. Obstacle Racing World Championships, Spartan Race World Championships, so I'll go back to Tahoe, I guess. I've qualified now with this race. So take it one race at a time, we'll see where we go. If I win Spartan in Tahoe, which is very tough to do anyway, then I can think about Greece, but until that point I'll just take it
Okay, last question is like, are you training the obstacle?
Never. No.
And you never did before? Because when I was seeing you the first time in European Championship of OCR, you were dancing on the obstacles. You were over.
I think it's because I've been obstacle racing for near on 10 years now. So obstacles used to be going over trees, under logs, through swamps and things. And I was there when the first rig came, and then another rig, and I've been doing them for a while now. So I guess I've got better as the races have got more technical. But I think going bouldering and climbing and just learning to swing a little bit is all you really need to do, and then after that it's about confidence and looking at the obstacle and having a bit of a plan before you go through it.
Talk with you, it seems everything super easy. Ok, le ultime domande che gli ho fatto è stato prima di tutto i suoi obiettivi. Mi ha detto che insomma la cosa del mondiale e del milione è stata una cosa molto particolare, l'ha presa un po' come un gioco, vedrà quest'anno come funzionerà, vedrà se riesce a vincere il taco perché è una cosa difficilissima e valuterà. L'ultimissima domanda che gli ho fatto è se si allena sugli ostacoli, mentre lui non li allena mai, fa tanta arrampicata, poi dice tanta tecnica, una volta che impara a fare swing e via dicendo, però è da 10 anni che fa obstacle race, quindi sa più o meno, ho visto l'evoluzione di come vanno. Detto questo, io ringrazio Albon che è stato incredibile, e sono felicissimo di questo momento e spero vi piaccia il video. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
My pleasure.
It was great, and I hope to you your best from all the Italy, but also like Spartan Europe from all the Europe, because we really count on you.
Thank you very much.
Ciao a
Cheers,
tutti.
guys.